Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow crypto nerds. My name is Monty Allen, and I am your crypto nerd. And today we have a special guest. Algorand is going to join us. We're going to talk about fame. So buckle up. Here we go. All right, Algorand, welcome to the show. Good morning for me, good afternoon for you, I think, right?
Yeah, it's 2 p.m. here.
2 p.m.
Thank you
there.
for having me. Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy you took time out of your holiday to spend a little bit of time with myself, with the Algorand overall community, the crypto nerd community, to talk about fame. And welcome to all the fame. You guys have like a community name? Are you like the Famatics?
Oh yeah, I saw your tweet about like AlgoFame or Algonaut, etc.
Yeah.
Like it's funny because I think after all, like we are a very small community. If we start to give ourselves like different names, like I don't mind Algonaut, AlgoFame, Algonaut. I really think like it's fine. The
Yeah.
main thing is just to be like around the Algorand ecosystem. That is the main point. Like,
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that like we were talking a few minutes ago about defining the community and trying to figure out like how do we refine the message for our communities and give some structure to that. And some of that I think comes from how we label ourselves. And nobody likes like labels, but there's also something about identity. And I think it's important for the Algorand community to rally around the Algo fam. And for me personally, I use Algo fam when I'm talking about all of the ASAs, all of those other communities like Fame or Yieldly or Opulus, or all of those communities I consider to be like part of the Algo fam. But those hardcore like Algorand maxis, or like the folks who are Algorand specific, or fan favorites or whatever, those are the Algonauts to me. And so I've been kind of working with those identities and trying to help those kind of grow and prosper, I think. And so identity is important, and I know that the Fame community has a strong identity as well. And it really, like, I see all of these ambassadors for you all over the world. How did you create that identity where people just want to join? Like, I want to get on board with this mission, because they definitely see something in you and in the overall community and the mission.
yeah, I think for us, for Fame, we try to bring a kind of ethical and creativity mindset and values into blockchain, because blockchain was mainly about greed, like markets and price. So, and it has a bad reputation since the creation of Bitcoin, obviously. So we're trying to bring like ethical aspect of it. And one of the ethical aspect is the local activity. What do you do into your neighborhood? So I just talked to Aiko, I think it's the Algorand. It was Algorand ambassador. He's Algorand ambassador in Tokyo, and he said that's how the whole ambassador started. And he was going to a blockchain week in Tokyo, and I told him, oh, and he was connected to Fame, and I said, yeah, can you talk a little bit about Fame around there, and I will send you some Fame to distribute. And he, even before I gave him any Fame, he had a bag of 10 like most of the pioneers, and he just gave his 10 Fame to people that were interested in the Algorand ecosystem in Tokyo. And I thought, wow, that's amazing, because this guy is incredible, and he's locally doing what we want to do, to create a local community to spread around the world, to decentralize everything. So that's how. And then I said, yeah, let's do that in many cities, and people just join in, and we can have as many ambassadors as we want. It just needs to be a big city, and that's it. And we will. The goal is to start to create events and to have this reference point for someone to organize the event, to reward the winners of the real life events.
Mm-hmm.
Like the meeting Tom did in New York. It was not Fame, obviously. It was for Algorand, which is amazing.
Right.
We try to do exactly this, but to add a rewarding system to distinguish the valuable people in our community.
Excellent.
That's the main goal of Fame.
So you and I are both in the Algorand Ambassadors program, and I think we've had some brief interactions in the Algorand, like their internal Slack channel. Did you leverage some of the Algorand ambassadors, or did they naturally reach out to you? How did that process go?
For Fame, I couldn't do that. I
Mm.
couldn't do that because I wanted to be honestly decentralized and random. The randomness part is very important. When I minted the 10,000,
Mm-hmm.
I just posted one tweet and I said, okay, just post your address here. And the people connected with me because I used to follow. I'm still following anybody that shares interesting news about Algorand. I will follow him immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I don't filter anything. If you post interesting news, I will follow you. So the people that were following me and that I was following, they immediately post their address, and the top team of Algorand also posted their public key,
Mm-hmm.
like Kelly, like Navid, Jason, like
Oh yeah.
Pablo Yabo, like Russ. So they posted the public key, so they get their 10 fame, and I thought I cannot give the ambassadors, the Algorand ambassador, such an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So I told them you have to go to the post, like just to be fair. So I wanted a fair and also random. And
Mm-hmm.
some people, I just checked the Twitter accounts to make sure it was not a fake. So I had to go through like 700, like 10, like
Did
1,000,
you have some people creating
1,000
like
Twitter.
double accounts or
Oh
something?
yeah,
Are
oh
people
yeah.
like that? They're kind of
Even three
devious that way.
accounts,
Even
even
three
three
accounts.
accounts, yeah.
That's
But you can
amazing.
easily spot because the good criteria that I took, I think it's a good one. It's how many followers do you have? Because it's hard to instantly have a lot of followers. You can follow many people, but you
Right.
won't have like many followers in a few days. And that was I was distributing for 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it manually because I think when it's automated, there is always a way to hack, like not to hack, but to have a fake account and to have multiple bags.
Right.
So that's the thing. And I think that's why I didn't leverage at all the ambassador. And some ambassadors told me like, why didn't we have the bag first? And I said, yeah, I'm sorry, but everybody had to go through the same process to be fair. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
very happy because many people from all over the world just posted, and I was just going like line by line. And each
Right.
time I gave one bag, I liked it just to remember it. So I know exactly just with the likes, I just remember, like I just could just check that I already gave this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then if someone like tried to create another account, another Twitter account, I
Right.
check sometimes I post public key on Twitter. You can actually search on Twitter with the public key, which is very useful. And you can check if they already have a bag and you check
Yep.
his.
I've actually
So
done
I
that in
did
the past.
everything
Yeah.
manually. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did everything manually to be sure. I still got like I still got like mistakes, etc. But
Sure.
even when I did mistakes myself, people send back the 10 fame, and that triggers the idea of the ethical aspect of fame.
Yeah.
And then I
People
went
are
through this idea.
keeping it real. So that there's a lot of folks out there who don't really understand what fame is about. They just see a new crypto. There's an ASA. Like, okay, am I going to get rich? Right. So there's that kind of mentality. They don't understand what it is,
Oh, that's
and they're
funny.
like, where can I trade it? What's going on?
Uh, yeah,
And clearly, they're not involved with the community or the project enough to understand what it is. So why don't
yeah.
you, just for the record, state what it is and why isn't this coin going to get us rich? Right? That's not the purpose of this. So fill us in.
Yeah, like it's not the coin that makes people rich, it's the people that makes the coin valuable. Like
Mhm.
the whole thing is reversed. Like people think the coin, yeah, I can create like anyone can create like 1 billion tokens. Like enough actually after fame, like so many coins appear, like ASA appear. Like I've seen like herpes coin, like some boobs coin, like
Right? Anything.
you can create as many coins. It's not the coins, it's the people that give value to any currency. Because I come from a philosophical background. I'm a philosophy teacher. My idea, my question is, what is money, and what type of money do we have? And when you ask what is money, what money really is, money can be like chemical, like gold and etc. Like chemical money, like from physical thing. Money can be governmental, like fiat.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I wanted to create a type of money that is based on humans, human brain, like brain juice or brain activity, what we call talent.
Right.
So I want to the coin, the token, to go to the most talented people, because that is where wealth is. When you go to, like now I'm visiting Dubrovnik, it's a beautiful city. When you see the architecture, we say this city is really valuable, it's beautiful. Why? Because creators were painting, sculpting, like doing architecture. So this is brain juice that is applied to stones that gives the city its value. And and this is what wealth is. This is why everybody comes to this city to visit. That is why it has like millions of tourists, because talented people created something here, and we say we protect it here. And even like history, the guides, etc. It's because historians did their job. So what I want is for the fame token to go to the most talented people. That's the
That,
main goal. And when it will happen, because it's not happening yet, because it's just the first phase of fair distribution. And with the challenges, this will happen slowly and
mhm.
steadily, hopefully, if people participate.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the thing. We need to get the participation levels out, and we need to get that second layer. So right now it seems like it's you're the kind of the driving force behind this. Once we get more ambassadors, more advocates who spread that message out, then you start to see other people start to employ that same like distribution. Okay, I want to reward this talent. I read this beautiful article or book, and I want to reward this talent or this artwork, or maybe we can get NFTs into the ecosystem somehow. But I understand where you're going with that, and not just NFTs, but the what if you could take what if you were an architect and you designed something. Now you don't own the building, but maybe you could take a picture of that, and that might come into play. I see a lot of benefits there.
Yeah, that's you're bringing a top point. That is my concern now, and I'm preparing with the team. Like we are preparing for next year, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Now the challenge is everything is like things is a little bit too centered around me. Like I'm not the guy. There are like almost 8,000 coins out of like 80% is distributed already. I don't have them. Like they are there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and the 2000 is just a reserve. We're going to try to distribute it very carefully if we are going to distribute it, because maybe we can invest in some things in the future when fame gains value, if it gains value.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to do, instead of having me running all the challenges and being at the center and distributing the coins, I want, that's an idea, like the community decide. I put ideas and the community votes yes or no, but I
Right.
will propose like we have for each month 2 ministers, one minister for arts, one minister for charity. And he's in charge. Once a year, 1 month per year, he is in charge for drawing, for writing, like a writing challenge, drawing challenge, photography challenge. And he's in charge. I'm not in charge. And he gets like, let's say 5 fame.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a part for his work, and the winners gets their share. And we have the things running because it has to be decentralized. Like the whole point of crypto, the whole point of fame. That's why also the ambassadors, I like it because they do the job locally. I don't have to do it, and they should do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's for me to disappear as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Like I even thought of just distributing the rest, but people need like a little bit of an idea and a reference point. I get that, but the idea is, for me, if everything is set and we really value arts and generosity, I don't need to be here if everybody gets the message and gets more active.
Yeah. Once I think the community hits what I consider to be, critical mass, where the community will live on long past your involvement, right? The
Yeah,
goal is
exactly.
for you to get it to that point so that you could take a step back and
Exactly, yeah.
it would still exist and it would still be beautiful and it would still
Mm.
grow. So that's
But
fantastic. Did you
it's true
have
that I still have to explain, yeah.
Yeah, right now. Did you have this idea prior to crypto? Were you trying to, build a community like this, or was it crypto that made this possible? Which
No,
came first?
actually, it's just my background, to be
Hmm.
honest. Like, I studied art at the beginning, like, I was a stage designer. I studied art in Paris. And then I was a stage designer in Greece, and I quit and I came back to Paris to study philosophy,
Hmm.
to go further on the philosophy of arts. So I'm passionate about art and philosophy. But I think what we call interesting, what we call a person interesting, is a person that is creative and that is ethical. I
Hmm.
think what we mean by interesting when we go to an interesting place, it means either philosophical or artistic in all type of arts and different branch of philosophy. So we need interesting people, which we can call talented people,
Hmm.
to have the token, to give the token value in the future.
Okay.
And then when I created Fame at the beginning, it was just to reward the interesting people in the community. Like BC Moore, he was sharing interesting content and doing research. I wanted those people to be rewarded. And I saw so many people like being very active, writing interesting things, sharing interesting links, connecting the dots, but doing that like long term for Algorand, but not being rewarded. So those are the people bringing knowledge and talents that I wanted to reward. At the beginning, it was just that. And then I thought,
Right.
yeah, we can bring more. We can really focus on valuable people and to reward valuable people.
There's
That's
some
the main
great
goal.
artists out there. I think the top of my Twitter thread is a thread where people put in their Algorand art or their memes. And now there's
Mm.
that now that's almost like it's very low quality compared to all the NFTs that are out there. When I look at it, some of them are amazing. Don't get me wrong, but we have grown so much over the last year or so that I've been involved. I'm not sure when you were already here when I got here. I consider myself
Yeah,
like OG Algo fam, but you were already
yeah,
involved in the community.
yeah.
But I remember like one of the first things you did was you had a contest for like the Fame logo, I think,
Logo.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And so that idea that you were talking about now, where you have a minister who an art minister or something like that who runs a contest quarterly or what have you, do you envision it kind of operating the same way that you ran that first logo
Exactly.
competition?
That's exactly what's happening this very month. Jaco Fall, I don't know how to say it.
Hmm.
Jaco Fall contacted me and he said, yeah, he's willing to give 200 algos for creators of the Algo Fame family. And I said,
Hmm.
that's great. And now he is running it. So this month, if you have created any kind of meme or NFT or video, I posted it on the Algorand Fame account.
Hmm.
You post it, and we select the 4 finalists. And Jacofol is the first experimental kind of minister.
Hmm.
Like, that's the idea, is to have somebody else running the challenge. And plus, he's offering also 200 algos, which is amazing.
Right.
So that's the plan, to have that. And in 2022, I'm still thinking about it. We can run elections every month to select the 2 ministers. Like January, we will have the mental health minister and the art minister. We will see which type of arts. And we go through the whole year of 2022. That's just an idea and a proposition to the community. We can run elections during all 2022. So
Hmm.
at the end of 2022, we don't do challenges because that would be too much. At the end of 2022, we have 24 ministers, 12 of arts, 12 of charity, and they are the leading guys, and they can be elected for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. That's another question. How many years do you want to have the same minister?
Right. Or maybe it's not even, maybe it's a
That's
quarterly thing or something like that. Do you anticipate having now we're not talking about millions of dollars here like some cryptos, but do you still anticipate having some kind of a choice coin or governance system how's your process? How do you envision that?
the vision for Fame is to get out of Twitter,
Mm,
to be honest, to have our own decentralized Twitter, and
okay.
so like that we cannot censor, and also to organize a Twitter that is not toxic, like a
Mm,
decentralized social platform that is not toxic, that we can remove democratically toxic people instead of having Twitter deciding. Like I don't know if you remember, but I still have a fake account, Bill Balgorant or something like that, running, and I contacted Twitter, and it has been reported by so many people.
I have
Nothing
a few
happened.
out there
Like
too.
Twitter doesn't work. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't work. I know
Even
everybody.
on YouTube here, there's people will post in the comments every once in a while trying to
Yeah.
scam, and they'll use like my photo and change their name. But if you look behind the scenes,
Mm,
it's definitely not me. I try and go through and filter those, and it's just
mm.
unfortunate. Yeah, we were
So I'm
talking
working on that.
yesterday. There was
Yeah.
somebody in what I don't know if it was the Asia Accelerator that came up with a decentralized
Yeah.
crypto-based
I need to check that too.
network,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Let me know what you find out there because it'd be
Mm,
interesting to see if we can get a core audience to
mm.
move over if we ever find something like that.
Because we are already working for many months on this platform. It's a project I cannot talk about too much because I
Hmm.
signed NDAs, etc. But we are working pretty intensively on that, and
Excellent.
that is a place where we can run the whole governance for Fame
Okay.
using Fame, because Fame it's a governance token. Like you can really decide with Fame. People who have like some have 20, 40 Fame. I don't know how they got that, but they have much more power because all the votes will go, you will have to pay using Fame.
Mm.
So you cannot just like represent 40 Fame. You have to
Hmm.
spend them. If the decision is important to you, you have to spend them.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think
so
I
you
was
have
part
to
of the
be
original airdrop,
smart.
and then you gave me one
Yeah,
fame, and somebody else tipped me a fame too. So I've got 12 fame now, and I was like, okay, well, how do I vote with these? How do I pay it forward? And I wasn't involved enough yet, and still I'm not involved enough yet to kind of figure that out. So I'm kind of learning as we're having this conversation.
yeah,
Like, okay, how do I get more involved? What do I need to do to
yeah.
perpetuate this?
How it's organized now, like every 25th of the month, like
Hmm.
today or tomorrow, I
Hmm.
post the 4 addresses for the
Hmm.
4 finalists.
Hmm.
For instance, for the meme and GIF, etc., there will be 4 wallets.
Hmm.
So that link that corresponds to the finalists. So if you like the artist A, B, C, D,
Hmm.
you send as much as you want. It's called like quadratic voting because it's very flexible. If
Hmm.
you really like A, you can send 10 fame if you want him to win. Or you
Okay.
can send him like 50 cents and then you can send 1 cent to the B because you like him too. So the
Okay.
C and the D don't get anything. So it's a very precise way of voting
How many
using
decimal
fame.
points are there in fame?
Only two.
Only
So
two.
there are
Okay.
not many. It's a very, because I wanted to do the opposite of XRP. I came from the XRP community before Algorand was released.
Me too.
And when I discovered this scam, like how they were like just dumping on people every month, etc. When I
Hmm.
discovered the whole thing, I just asked questions on Facebook group and Twitter groups, and they just banned me and they delete my. And then I left. I said, "Oh, okay, they are just paid. Maybe they're paid by the team. I don't know." So when I came to Algorand, I was always thinking, what would be the good crypto, like the ideal one? It would have a very limited uh, units, but also limited decimals. That's why safe money is a scam too. It's the same as XRP, but in the opposite way, the other
Hmm.
side of the comma. So we need to reduce the number of zero before the comma and after the comma. So from each side. And the scam can go both ways. So fame is not like this. It's very limited. It's very scarce. And
Yeah.
the distribution don't take like even Bitcoin. The distribution is still going on.
Mm-hmm.
The distribution has to be quick for the people to have power immediately.
So there's no mining of fame. You minted the entire batch all at once. There's scarcity for sure because there's a
Yeah,
very
there's already
small pool.
scarcity. Yeah,
Um,
but the rest, it's not mining because it's not like spending physical energy like Bitcoin. It's spending mental energy.
yeah.
People who are creative, they will earn fame by the voting. The community will say, "Whoa, this is a great artist, and I will vote for him. I really want him to vote, like for the logo, for the music, the music
Mm-hmm.
contest,
Now, is there
and for the
a website
charity too."
for past winners, or how do we see who the past winners are? Where's that information contained?
For now, we do it only on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
That's the problem. That's kind of a problem.
Yeah,
But it's easier.
we need to
It's
get
easier because
a
people
hall
don't.
of fame so that we get all the winners
Yeah,
located
we
in.
are. Oh, I'm saving everything. I'm saving
Okay.
the names, etc. Like we have the Hall of Fame, and the first ones, like if it works in 10 years, they will be legends. And I
Yeah.
want them to be legends because they were the first movers that dare to create and to participate. It's hard to be the first one. That's what I said recently. Like it's hard to be a pioneer because you cannot just imitate people. You really have to go with your true thinking and ideas, and you have to go forward without anyone uh, validating you, and that demands a lot of courage.
Okay, so we've only got a few minutes left here, and I definitely want to talk about your impact in Africa and in Nigeria specifically. So, talk to me a little bit about what's going on there, how it came about, and what your your vision for the future is there.
Yeah, I cannot say a lot, but what I can say is that there are 3 companies and 1 charity that I'm going to represent there and to work with. So the whole goal of Fame, obviously, and of Algorand too, is to bring a new kind of free market to the people, to the local people. I don't want I don't want stars, etc. I don't want famous people. I want people that deserve to be famous, but they are not. So small farmers, small producers that should be more rewarded, that work hard and don't get enough like credit for what they do, even money. And those are the farmers I'm targeting. And
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria is big because Nigeria and Africa is huge, huge. Like China, China could leapfrog past credit cards. Africa will do that too. And I want Fame and Algorand to be the first to do that, to be the first here for them, to help them on the ground. So anyone that produces food, I will focus on food because that's the main goal. Like people are hungry every day. Like I'm talking very frequently with Nigerian farmers,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not like in a movie. It's real. Like people are going to work hungry, and
Right.
farming hungry is hard. And that's why I want to invest in farms in Nigeria. But the Algorand community will be soon able to invest in farms in Nigeria. You invest like $10, but you know that this guy will produce food for the community for himself. He will make profits, and with these profits, will get back to you years later, maybe when it grows. So I want to make the farms in Nigeria grow as much as possible. So we are
Okay.
working on tokenizing farms, basically.
That's beautiful. All right, I'll be watching that
Yeah,
project closely. Now, let's
thank
say
you.
some of my audience, they want to get in touch with you. They want to help out the Fame community. They want to, they love the mission. How do they do that? What would be their next step?
For now, it's easy. Like Algorand Fame, the main account,
Hmm.
all the ambassadors. And if you want to become an ambassador, just do it yourself. Like all the logo are free. You can use them on the Discord. You can find the logo. You create an ambassador. If you have a big city, you create an ambassador. You just tell me, hey, I'm the ambassador for Madrid, for example. We need
Okay.
actually a Spanish ambassador. So anyone can become an ambassador. There is no barrier, nothing. That's the thing. And then after you will have to create live events, and then I can help you because I have like a list of like ideas how to create live events. And so ambassadors, become an ambassador if you want to. Just contact me straight. My DMs are open on Twitter. We have the Discord. We use it a lot because we can classify and create channels for each aspect, like art and charity. So you can get in touch with people interested in like farming, animals. Like this month is about animals, how to protect animals. If you have any project about protecting and saving animals, you just go to the Discord and you talk about it, and I will be in contact with you. The Telegram channel is more like free and random.
Yeah, I think I pop in on your Telegram channel from time to time. I don't often post in there, but I definitely
it's just
I'm
a free
lurker.
one. Yeah, it's a more random one, but it's fun. Like sometimes just to connect.
Okay. What kind of events have you hosted in the past? What happens at an event? What does that look like?
No, the events has to be organized by the ambassadors.
Right. Oh, so I mean, not organized by you, but by an ambassador. What's a recent ambassador created event? What does that look like? Is it just a group of folks getting together to celebrate, whatever focus they're on, animal rescue or whatever it is?
The idea, yes, is to have the same kind of values in the events. Like who can create, like, for instance, we do that a lot in Paris. Mm-hmm. We do poetry in bars, like you'd call it like slam,
Uh-huh.
So we go in a bar. There is a stage. You just random people go on stage. They read something. They make people laugh, cry, think, and we can do. This is a challenge. This is an art challenge. This is a poetry challenge, and we reward with fame. And we have the ranking, the top 3, number 1, 2, 3, and they receive their fame from the people attending the event. So that kind of challenge we can do for any type of art. Any type of charity. Like for instance, I was going to the beach actually in Dubrovnik here, and the beach is amazing, but the tourists are awful. Like the ground is full of like dirt, and they just throw like apples, and
it's terrible, right?
Actually, I was thinking about maybe I will just scream at the beach and bring some like bags, like plastic bags. I don't know, maybe I need to offer something. Like, let's clean this beach. Like, are we as disgusting as this? Like, can we just each one take a bag and we clean this beach? Like, if we organize that in a real life event, we will have people that did a better job than others, and we rank them, and we have a fame distribution for them. That's it.
I love it. There's so much that we can do. It's almost overwhelming at times.
Exactly.
I think the trick is really to kind of narrow the focus and pick, what it is that you're going to help. What are you going to make the difference in? And then take that.
That's why we need ministers. That's why we need ministers to think about their months for 1 year, so they get ready. Because I cannot run everything; it's too much work, and I have my own job. Like in September, I will be teaching philosophy again. I cannot just. I won't have the time. So that's why we need one minister to think about his project for 11 months, about the challenge to get it ready for 1 month. He will have 11 months of preparation.
Well, I love it. So I have not been involved with the fame community much, but in speaking with you, like I'm going to reach out and be involved a little bit more as well, because I'm what I consider to be a conscientious investor. So I invest with my money in projects that I appreciate, that I think are doing the world good. I'm a vegetarian. I drive an electric car. And arguably, there's pros and cons to that, but I try to make a difference, and I believe that you're trying to make a difference, and I believe that your community is trying to make a difference. So,
but you are with the video, and it's also part of fame, because the video creators are very important, because we need also to communicate what we do, and you're doing an amazing job as communicating and understanding what people do, and that's part of like the fame project too. Like you deserve more fame, like, to be honest. And different video YouTube creators, they deserve more fame. I just cannot give it. I gave already, but the community should like recognize the people who create good video content, and they can randomly give you, or wait for the video challenge to maybe some of video YouTube creators will be finalists. I don't know, or a movie.
I hope so. I think that the goal for me is to understand a little bit more every day about the community, about what's going on, and then if I can, I have the ability to take that information and then kind of refine it so that it's palatable to a wider audience. Because a lot of the
Mm,
information we receive in the community is kind of it's here, it's there, it's all
mm,
over the place. Some of it's very techno, some of it's
mm.
sporadic, and so if I can take that, consolidate it, and give a clear message, then I've done my job.
Yeah, exactly. That's very important because information is lost everywhere from
Right.
different platforms. That's why we're trying to do this like we did yesterday, like the Sunday
Mm-hmm.
talk,
Mm-hmm.
Sunday random Algorand talk. It was incredible yesterday. I loved it so much. Like the reach, Chris gave us so much to think about, like
Mm-hmm.
with his explanation. And also, you did a lot with the investment and property tokenization with this real estate
I
agent that came to talk to us.
I do love the real
That
estate
is,
stuff.
yeah, this is what we need. Like, we need to educate ourselves to the maximum.
Mm-hmm.
We can
Well,
do that on Sunday, every Sunday.
let me know how that farming tokenization goes, because that's right in my ballpark.
Oh, yeah, this
All
is
right.
huge. Oh, I will talk to you about this too. This is very interesting. I think it's the future. Tokenizing farms around the world is the future for me. Better than houses.
Good stuff. All right. Well, we're almost out of time here. Will you do me a favor? Will you send me any links that would be appropriate, or
Hmm.
anything else you want me to put in the
Oh,
description here?
they are all in the Algorand Fame account, main account, in the profile. You have all the
Perfect.
links, Telegram,
Okay.
this, they are all there.
I'll go find them and,
Yeah.
and post them in this, and then we've got to wrap this up. But any last, parting words for the audience here today?
The only thing I have to say is if we want decentralization, each one has to take responsibility and to do his part. We cannot just ask for decentralization and ask what Bilal is doing. I should be able to do nothing. And I'm waiting for the people to take responsibilities and action.
Mm-hmm.
For me to step back a little bit.
If you're
The more
doing
you
your
do, the
job,
less I do.
you'll be invisible.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the goal. Like Hegel said, like the best state is a state that disappears. Like
Uh,
that's the idea.
all due respect to your goal, but I hope they don't hit it too soon, because we like you hanging out in the community.
Yeah, I will be always be a member.
All right, that's all we
Yeah.
have time for today. I appreciate your
Cool.
time. I appreciate the audience,
Thank
and
you.
let's do this again sometime.
Yeah, sure. Whenever you want.
Sounds good.